Hey, ck.Carlton here. Welcome to my vlog. Welcome to my shop. I'm going to share with you some of the different things that I do, from concrete finishing to woodworking to building guitars, little bit of everything. Share with you a little bit about my life and how all these different things have come together over a period of time and created my source of living. I don't do just one thing. So I welcome you to follow. We'll go through some building guitars, some woodworking projects. I've got a whole bunch of projects on the go that you can follow me on. And in between, we'll talk a little bit about pursuing your passion. Thanks for following me. Okay, so today's project, I am working on a table for my wife. I'd made a front entranceway table, a smaller one. It was about 1 foot wide and much taller. And so we wanted a new coffee table. So that's the bottoms done. Today I'm going to work on the wood top and going to biscuit join it together and sand it. And she wants it kind of a rough kind of a finish, so I'm just gonna leave it a little bit rough. She wants to see all the joints and stuff on it. And yeah, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so today's project, I'm working on this tabletop for our coffee table at home that my wife wants. So for those of you that haven't seen a biscuit cutter before, this little tool has a little blade on it, and that little blade cuts into the side of the wood and creates a little slot for a little biscuit like that to slide in. And you just glue those in, and you can do that in between the two boards, and it's a great way to keep your boards aligned and nice and straight. Then we dab a little bit of glue just inside the slots so that the biscuits can actually hold together the piece that we're gluing. So I just put a little bit in each slot. And on the main surface. the other side just in the slots. When these little biscuits just go in there, you just tack them in with a hammer. So I like making my own mallets too. It's kind of fun little way to use up some of your small pieces of wood, and just another fun creative thing to do. The other thing you do have to make sure is if you don't have these slots centered, to make sure that you line them up so that you don't have these out of line, right? If that makes sense. That's it. So I'm going to do that on the rest of the table and glue it all up. So now that you have them all glued up and you got all your biscuits in, then you just want to clamp it up. I glued all the joints, glued all the biscuits. You want to use a straight edge and make sure your edge is straight, especially if you're not planning on cutting it and you want to do a breadboard end, which I'll explain in a few minutes. Now that I have the clamps on, this wants to kind of naturally bow on us, so because of the clamp. So I'm actually going to take it into my spray booth where my table is, and I'm going to screw it in from the bottom, get it down flat, clamp it in again, and then we can do the breadboard ends. So we're in the spray booth now, where I've got my table sitting. I'm going to screw this from the bottom and screw these this whole top down so it keeps it nice and flat, and then I'll glue on the breadboard ends, and then we'll kind of sand the top. Again, we're going to leave it pretty rough. My wife Karen wants it a little rough. The last one I made, I ran through the planer and took the time to make it all nice and lacquered it, and she was like, oh, I didn't really want it quite that nice. So it's hard for me as a perfectionist sometimes to try and do a job like this and actually leave it rough, but I will try my best. Okay, so I got the breadboard end of the table. So if you're wondering what the heck a breadboard is, this is a breadboard end where you change the grain of the wood. So all these little spaces in here, I'm going to squeeze this together once I put the other end on, and I'll clamp it from end to end, and then we'll screw it all down. It's not going to be totally tight, but again, that's what my wife Karen wants. She wants it rough sort of looking. That's the sort of that country look that she wants. So yeah, let's get the other end glued on. All right, so I've got the table all glued up, biscuit together, clamped. So got the breadboard ends on, and it's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, the glue, before I screw it down and sand or do any of that kind of stuff. So usually how I do things in the shop is, while one thing's drying, I'll jump onto another little project. And one of the projects I got going on is this little ashtray. So I'll sometimes make some cigar ashtrays, some custom ones. I've done just some concrete ones like this. Kind of brings my concrete world into my woodworking world a little bit. So this particular one, I'm going to do a cedar wood piece around the outside, and this one actually is for a customer down in the States, and I got this order off of doing the tile job with Josh from My Hands Gallery and Ushitat. And check him out, follow him on YouTube, and he's on Instagram and Facebook. And so someone was watching Josh's vlog and said, hey, I'd like one of those ashtrays. So anyway, so I've got this one started and I'll show you as we go along. Okay, so we had a visit from my brother here. It's my brother Wade.
Hello.
So Wade's a heavy duty mechanic, as the rest of my family is. And other than me, I don't like playing with wrenches too much. So he's got this awesome big mill that he picked up, and every once in a while he comes whipping to the shop here and he's got another crazy part for this thing. I don't know if you can see some of that. What do we got here?
It's a rotary table.
What's it do?
So basically what it can do is it bolts to the table. Then you can set anything on it, and everything is set up with degrees once it's all put back together, because I'm rebuilding it right now. New bearings and seals and all of that. And then once everything goes on, the table can go in, and so you can index things. So if it's a gear or anything round, and you can literally rotate the table with the cranks, and you can also set everything to match up for your bed on any angle and any plane that you want.
That's awesome. I use this thing once in a while to do some of my wood templates on. Definitely not in context for the machine, but it can make some pretty cool stuff on this thing. So I'm trying to talk my brother into starting a vlog of his own at some point. You can see some of the crazy stuff he likes making. He likes playing with metal and big machines. So see you later. Okay, so I'm outside my shop here. So you hear a bunch of weird noises outside my shop. It's because I'm on a sheep farm. And these guys are outside the shop. So this is my friend Julia. Julia owns the property that I have my shop on. Her and her husband Drew.
I'm gonna try catch a lamb.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to go. I think this is Kirby.
Hi, Kirby.
There's a few that I don't really know. And he's about a month old, growing pretty quickly. I think he's a twin, but I can't quite remember.
And so what are you doing with all these sheep?
So I raise them for meat and for wool. I've got some purebred long wool English Cotswolds. And this guy we won't tell him, but unless I can find people who want to buy some nice wool sheep, because he's gonna have a beautiful fleece. He's a cross. He's about a half Cotswold, maybe 3/4. And
Now Julia thought she would knit a toque one day, and so she bought a sheep, and now she has a lot of sheep.
yeah.
So where can people find you, Julia?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Farmer Dell, and I have a website that I'm on YouTube,
Awesome.
Farmer Dell.
Okay.
I've got some videos,
Hey,
and
you
I've
do-
got a website that I haven't posted to for a long time.
And you do some artwork also, right?
Yep, and I've
Carpentry.
learned how to spin, so I'm doing wool fiber stuff and things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look how cute this guy is.
Thanks, Julia. Here we're back to cedar side. Okay, so this is Drew and Julia's place up on the hill here that own where my shop is. This place is super sweet looking. For those of you that don't live in North America and are watching this, the vast amount of land and beauty that we have here in Canada is crazy. So you see the lake there. I'm huffing and puffing because I just walked up a hill. So this is Drew.
Hi.
Drew, and you met Julie a few minutes ago. They own the property that I'm on. So, man, they got lots of stuff going on here. Drew's a producer of Mighty Motion Pictures. He produces documentaries and amongst many other things. So pretty much all of us here all live a bizarre life of doing just whatever comes up every day for work. Sometimes it's making movies, sometimes it's building guitars, some days Drew's helping an arborist cut trees down, some days I'm doing concrete. That's what we do.
Today we get to move my wife's armoire that we got from the dump because she's going to apply her artistic abilities to turn this into some functional art.
That's a pretty sweet looking armoire.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm over here at Eli's house. Eli is son-in-law of my brother Wade that you met earlier on. So Eli is a bit of a mad scientist and makes all sorts of crazy stuff out of his garage. He's a stonemason by trade. And what else do you? Operating heavy equipment, kind of, you know, a good addition to our family with all the weird things that we do that don't seem to go together.
Don't fit the mold.
So today Eli is making, what are you making here, a table?
Concrete coffee table.
Concrete coffee table. That is cool. So there are all sorts of funky things in the background here. What do you got going on here?
You can see a forge.
So Eli has, so you made this whole forge?
Yep.
That is crazy.
The boat is going to get a jet motor in it.
I'm going to switch. Okay, so amongst all the other things Eli has done, he invented and produced a product called a rock chop, which is essentially a guillotine that you hit with a hammer and splits the rock and stone. It's pretty sweet. So he's got concrete tables going on, rock chops, forges for my nephew, Wade's other son, David, is building knives. So he's built a pretty sweet looking forge. So yeah, there's Eli's life. Okay, another one of Eli's mad scientist projects he's got going on is this is a
It will be for a turbine engine.
for a turbine engine that he's building. He is hand built. He didn't buy any of this. He made all of this on a mill. Each little piece, like, that is crazy. Did you make that too?
No, this is Inconel. This is going to be for the turbine of these.
And what are you putting this turbine on?
Well, it'll be all for a jet engine. This is a compressor wheel.
Okay.
This, I'm going to mill the blades for the turbine. Just different metal.
That is awesome.